Hi, welcome to another episode of Bethany Talks About Stuff. This is a show where Bethany talks about stuff. I'm Bethany F. DeVores, your host, and I am also the author of the Sea Adrastian Chronicles, available from Amazon. I will almost never not plug that. So today, I was hoping to take a couple of minutes to talk about something that's only kind of pop culture. I wanted to talk about online dating. So I'm just going to start this one off by saying, if you're already married, just stay that way and save yourself a lot of trouble. Okay. I mean, I don't know your relationship. Maybe there's reasons you can't, but I'm telling you, if you can work it out, work it out. Okay. It's not a fun time out there. It's not. So I thought I would take a minute and talk about what's wrong with online dating. And there's a lot wrong. I thought about this a lot, whether I wanted to kind of take a nice, sweet approach to here's what we could do better, everybody, or if I just wanted to be like, oh, this is terrible. And no matter how hard I tried to do the nice, sweet, let's all do better, it turned into this is terrible. So I'm just going to be honest, y'all. Online dating sucks. It sucks. But it's kind of a necessary evil in today's society. I'm in my mid-40s. I'm divorced. And the circles in which I roll, everybody's married. I mean, it just is what it is. They're either married or gay. Which, hey, good for them. But not helpful to me in the dating aspect. So that is kind of how life goes sometimes. And so it's really difficult to meet people organically, right? If you're young and like in your 20s, you just have a much wider pool to choose from because most people aren't married yet, or that's about the time they get married, or maybe into their 30s. People do get married a little bit later now, but still by mid 40s and getting into 50s, you don't have as wide of a pool. Okay. So, and that's fine. It is what it is. But online dating sucks. So, like, okay, I'd like to meet somebody. It's not the end of the world if I don't. I like my life. I have a full life. I do this. I write. I have a good job. I have friends and family that I enjoy spending time with. I have just a lot going on. I love my church. I have a good church family. So I have a good life. Meeting somebody and getting remarried is something I would like to do as gravy, right? And I feel like most people, hopefully I would hope that's where you're coming from, particularly at this age. I'm not looking for somebody to complete me. I hate that idea, but I would like somebody to come alongside me and to be able to come along somebody else, right? Online dating is not conducive to this, y'all. It's just not. I mean, it's kind of like, what else are you going to do? But at the same time, I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. So a little background on that too is that I have done online dating off and on for several years. Because again, it's just very difficult to meet people organically. And this is kind of what people do now. It stinks. I hate it, but it is what it is. So what happens is I create my profile. I put it out there. I spend all this time picking pictures I feel like are flattering but honest. I try to make sure I include at least one like full body picture so you can see that I'm not a small girl. And if we do actually meet in person, you're not going to be surprised. My worst nightmare is I'd meet somebody in person and be like, oh, I didn't realize you were this big. So I usually pick pictures that kind of reveal that so you know what you're getting into. But I spend all this time picking all those pictures. And then I spend a lot of time crafting my profile description in a way that it lets you know who I am and kind of what I'm looking for without sounding all jaded and mean and cynical. Even though in real life I am kind of jaded, mean, and cynical, I'm going to try not to treat you that way. So I spend all this time and then I go active, I activate it. And then I get nothing but junk for like 2 months. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. And then I deactivate my profile again for a few months. And then that cycle starts over. I kind of liken it to my friends. I have not ever had kids. My friends who have had multiple kids are like, labor is terrible. It's so painful. It's awful. And and I'm like, well, you did it 5 times. And they're like, well, by the time you're ready to have another kid, you kind of forget how painful it was and you decide to do it anyway. I feel like on a much smaller scale, of course, that's what online dating is like for me. Like I do it for a while, then I'm like, this is awful, and I don't do it again. And then after like a year, I'm like, maybe it'll be better this time. It's not. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's not. So here are some of my pet peeves about online dating. And at the end, of course, I'm going to ask for your feedback. I would be genuinely interested to see if other people feel the same way I do about these particular issues, or if you have others to add, or maybe I'm just being a little like over the top. I mean, I am kind of extra, so it's hard to say. But there are a few things I think most people would agree with me. The first one, I absolutely know a lot of women feel this way, because I have friends and family that are currently using dating websites, and this is our most common complaint. Fellas, this is directed specifically at you. Most of this will be because I'm a woman looking for a man, so I'm seeing men's profiles. Okay, so just please bear that in mind. But I'm sure that guys have some of the same issues with women, in the other direction. So that's fair. But fellas, your pictures. Okay, so women are not visual in the same way that you are, okay? And we don't want to see you almost naked, particularly if you don't look like, say, Chris Hemsworth. Okay, so I'm not saying I would not be attracted to your profile pictures if you don't look like Chris Hemsworth. This is reality. I mean, I don't look like a Marvel character either. I'm just saying, I don't need 15 pictures of you without your shirt on. Even if you do look like Chris Hemsworth. I'm not a guy. Guys like to see more skin than most women, I think. I could be wrong about that. Some women are going to disagree with me. I'm going to take some heat for this. Y'all. So I decided to take one for the team. And I have made a collage of myself recreating some of the best poses, minus all the skin. Because even though it's a hard PG-13, we're still PG-13. So here you go. Does anybody find any of that flattering? Why? Well, I especially love the nose hair ones. Hey, what's up, mama? I'm like, your nose hairs, I can see straight up your nostrils. That's what's up. Why do you do that? I don't understand. The whole idea is not to misrepresent yourself, but on the onset, maybe you want to put your best foot forward, with shoes on preferably. Why would you do that? I don't understand. Anyway, you get the idea. Also, on a side note, not only is it just kind of weird to have 500 pictures of your kids, I get that you're trying to let me know they're very important to you and you're a package deal. That's great and understandable. I still don't want 500 pictures of your kid. If I like you, I understand if you have kids, it's a package deal, or it should be. I get that. What I'm trying to figure out is if I like you enough to take on the package. I need to know you first. Why waste the kids' time learning? Like, I don't want to get attached to your kids because I might like them better than you. But y'all, the internet's a nasty place and they're pedophiles. And we all know there's a ton of catfishing going on these websites. So might want to think about that before you post pictures of your kids. I'm just saying, be careful. Please be careful. So one of my other pet peeves is that, and this is another one I hear from my friends, family, are your profile descriptions. I spend a lot of time on mine. Now, I get it. I'm a writer, and I'm going to obsess over this probably more than most people. But I think you can do better than, I'm just me. Ask if you want to know. Real person here. Ask me anything. Well, I don't even know where to start asking you anything because you put nothing in your profile. Nothing. I'm sorry, y'all, but that's lazy. Y'all lazy. I mean, it doesn't take that long. You don't have to write the novel I wrote in my profile, but maybe a few things like, I like barbecue. I like to go to the races. I prefer hip hop. Whatever. I don't care. I mean, we don't have to like all the same things, but I'd just like to know something about you. The ones who do say, hey, I have 2 kids. They're ages 13 and 15, and I spend a lot of time with them, and they're very important to me. Okay, that's fair. I'd like to know a little bit more about you, but that's also part of you. So at least you're putting that. Something, you guys, something. I also am like, just a word of warning. If you're one of those people that puts in your website or your profile description, no scammers, please. I submit to you that is completely pointless, okay? Like, I get it. I don't want scammers either. I don't want catfish. Nobody does. But do you really think they care that you said that? I mean, like, they think they're going to pull the wool over your eyes. So I don't think anybody goes, let me pick out a profile. This looks good. Oh, except for they said no scamming. So I better go on to the next one. No, they don't care. They don't care. So just saying, you might be wasting some keystrokes just by typing that in. Don't even bother. You just got to discern it when you're talking to them. And that leads to my next pain point, the actual conversations. To put some perspective, okay, I'm a big girl. Hopefully I will not always be a big girl. I have not always been a big girl. Most of my life, though. I want to lose weight to be healthier, to feel better, but it doesn't mean I don't love myself the way I am. I am, however, realistic about ideals for people. So, in my experience, anytime I get a message that starts off with, hey, sexy, or hi, beautiful, or how's it going, princess, I am almost 100% of the time dealing with a catfisher. So now, guys, I don't know what that looks like in reverse, what they're using to catfish you, but I know that I have so far 100% of the time only been dealing with a catfisher when they start the conversation that way. So if that's a way that you typically start your conversation and then you're not getting a lot of responses, just know it could be because people are assuming you're catfishing if they don't look like, Catherine Zeta-Jones or something. So I'm just putting that out there. I really, really, really hate that. So and sometimes I get a less in your face version, like, hi, you have beautiful eyes. At least that's a little bit better. And I've talked to some guys who were not catfishers that started the conversation that way, and it still went way south. But I gave them the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, that was nice. That was a nice specific compliment, But otherwise, it's usually one started off, you are so gorgeous. I'm like, you are probably a Nigerian prince, right? Like, I don't really buy it. So, okay. Now, again, that's not to say that I don't, that I dislike myself or don't have a healthy respect for myself. I'm just realistic, y'all. I'm just realistic. So, but my real pet peeve with that, okay, that's catfishing. So that's not even talking about the real people who are on dating sites. That's not a referendum on you because you're not catfishing. But what I do hate is still my first message from somebody, hello. And I'm like, hello. How's it going? Okay, how are you? Good? You know what that tells me? Most of the time, you probably haven't read my profile. Now, remember back in the beginning of the show and I was like, I spend a lot of time on my profile, so it is important to me that you actually read it. Just saying. And a little tip that even if it's not somebody who's a little extra like me, most people like to know that you paid attention to the effort they put into their profile. So saying anything related to the profile is probably going to help. So please, for all that is holy, read the profiles. Please read the profiles. Men and women alike, read the profiles. It's not that hard. It doesn't take that long. And you probably find something in there to talk about. Like one guy hit me up and said, hey, I also love the Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Do you like the movies or the books better? Have you read the books? Yeah, I read the books. I like the books better, but I thought the movies were good. This started a conversation that dovetailed into deeper conversation. But at least I knew that guy actually read some of my profile. Because of course I love the Lord of the Rings. I'm a huge geek. I love the Lord of the Rings. Oh, I love it so much. I did read the books. And everybody complains about Tom Bombadil not being in the movies, but I submit to you, where would you fit that in? Each movie was almost 4 hours already. Okay, that's another whole show. Sorry. I digress. The point is, please read people's profiles. For instance, if I say, just like I do on this show, that I'm conservative Christian, why would you then hit me up and say I'm looking for somebody for me and my wife to have fun with? I mean, maybe that's somebody's private kink that they don't admit to, but it's not mine. It's not mine. And you probably would be able to figure that out from my profile if you had read it. Read the profile. I promise you, it's worth it, y'all. It is worth taking the time. I also hate to be ghosted, but I think everybody hates to be ghosted, but I won't say I've never done it. Like, y'all, I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how to let you go. But I also have to say, people don't take it well. Like I do generally try to tell somebody, if I'm talking to them and I just see this is just not going to work out, I will typically try to say, look, I really appreciate your interest. I think you're a nice person. I don't see it working out for us, and I don't want to waste any more of your time, but I also don't want to just ghost you. So I wanted to let you know. Guys, in fairness to women who ghost you, sometimes it's because of the response they get to that conversation. Like I'll say, brother, I'm sorry. I don't see this going anywhere, but you're a real nice guy. I just don't think it's you and I working. I don't think people lose their minds, y'all. They lose their minds. And then they get mad that, I got ghosted. Well, yeah, because you acted like a big turd head about somebody saying, I don't really think this is going to be a good fit. Now, if I came on there and said, oh, you're a jerk, I don't want to mess with you. Okay, maybe it's a little okay to be kind of defensive about that. But I had one guy, I shouldn't share these stories that are quite so personal, but I had one guy that we'd been talking for a little bit, and that it had actually progressed to talking on the phone and texting. And I came to realize that his definition of different religious and political views were different. Not were they just like we believed in different things, but he said, I believe in this, but his definition of, and I do too, but then our definitions were different. That happens, sometimes. And it was about issues that were important enough to me that they kind of were a deal breaker. We can agree to disagree on a lot of stuff, but there are a few things that are deal breakers. And I'm not getting into that. That's everybody's personal. Everybody's different, and everybody has their own personal standards. There's nothing wrong in any case. It just is what it is. And so I said to him, look, you're a very nice guy. I have really enjoyed chatting with you, but these issues are actually going to cause enough of a rift between us. I don't see it working out. And he was like, okay, cool. Let's just stay friends. And I'm like, okay, well, I did enjoy talking to him, so I thought that'd be okay. But he could not let it go. And then he's like, I'm just going to change everything about me to suit you. And I was like, okay, we can't talk anymore. We don't need to talk anymore because I don't want anybody changing. I don't care what romance novels and movies say, even though I write romance. That's not the kind of romance I write. Nobody should be changing their whole selves for you. I'm not talking about changing a habit. Okay, like saying, hey, I don't like it when people squeeze the toothpaste from the middle. You need to squeeze from the bottom up, that's a habit. Yes, we can change that. Or, I don't eat very healthy, but I know that you do, so I'll try. Again, a habit. In fact, those are things that we should all be trying to make each other better, or not make each other, but encourage each other to be better. But you shouldn't be changing your core personality for somebody. That's just crazy. And so I was like, okay, we've crossed over into cuckoo land. Now, I didn't say that. I just said, I'm sorry. I don't think maybe we should even be friends because this is a struggle. And that guy who just told me I was so wonderful that he was willing to change everything about himself. Suddenly I was the B word. And I mean, he went off. And I was like, well, thanks for showing me your true colors. Like, glad we got that out of the way really early on. And so we just kind of cut ties. But so sometimes that might be maybe somebody just doesn't have the courage to face that. And so they ghost you because they're like, I don't know how you're going to react. And you may be a perfectly mature enough person to say, hey, thanks for being honest. I don't know. I tend to take the chance and just say, sorry. And then if they get mad, they get mad. It's on them, not on me. But some women don't want to do that. And probably some men don't want to deal with the hysterics from women either. But what I really hate is when they're like, and yes, I know it's hard to believe, but I do get this kind of thing. All right. Well, what can I do to impress you? Or what did I do wrong? Or you're wrong about me. I am good for you. Please don't be that desperate, y'all. Okay. Like, flattered, but worried about you. Okay. Like, I don't get it. Somebody has told you they don't want you. Whether it's somebody being a jerk or not. Move on. Move on. You are worth more than that argument. Okay. Don't try to convince somebody. You've already lost the war, right? You might win a battle, but you've lost the war. It's unlikely that's going to go anywhere. If somebody says to you, I don't think this is going to work, and you harangue them and to continue to talk to you, you gotta show a little backbone, y'all. Show a little backbone. Be strong. They don't want you. You don't need them. You don't need them. I promise you, there's somebody else. Like, I've been that person. I have been that person where I was like, well, you're wrong. We can make this work. I mean it. Why would you leave me? And now I'm like, somebody says, I don't think it's going to work. I'm like, okay, bye. See ya. Good luck. I don't have time for this nonsense. And neither do you. You don't have time for it, y'all. Don't do it. Don't do it. Invest your time where it's going to be profitable for you, whether it's emotionally profitable or companionship profitable. You know what I mean? Like, where it's going to make a difference. Invest your time where it's going to make a difference. Don't harangue somebody who says they don't want you. Just let it go. That's something I've never understood. Even when I myself was doing it, I guess I do understand because it was the case for me that I had too much of my self identity wrapped up in somebody else. So y'all, stand on your own 2 feet. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. You can do it. And that is my show about online dating, which sucks. Online dating. And maybe my show. I hope not the show, but definitely online dating sucks so much. I hate it. I would really, and I think most people who are doing the online dating thing feel the same way as I do. I just want to get off of it. Like, I want to meet the right person and be done and not have to do this anymore. So I'm just going to say good luck to everybody who's out there on the online dating websites. All of you who are out there braving it, good for you. Don't let people make fun of you. Don't let people make you feel bad for wanting to meet somebody. Good for you for putting in the effort to meet someone. So hopefully some of these tips maybe helped you. Particularly, like, don't fall for the catfishers and don't put your kids on the internet so pedophiles can see them. Y'all, the internet's gross. You know it is. Except for my show. It's totally not gross. In any case, that's my episode about online dating, which Online dating sucks, but it is what it is. So I hope that you got something out of this. Again, I hope maybe you able to take away something that might improve your profile or make you more open to something else. I don't know. In any case, I think we can all relate a little bit. Like I said, I'm sure guys deal with the same kind of crap from women, the unrealistic pictures, dumb conversations. It's a human thing. So let me know in the comments. Have I missed something that's really important? Am I just being too hard on guys in particular? Do you like all of the shirtless pictures? Even if the guy's not like rocking those abs? I personally don't, obviously, but maybe you do. And maybe that's why guys do it, because there are some who do like that. So let me know in the comments as gently as you can, okay? I mean, I know it's the internet, but let's have a little class, all right? I'm interested to hear the feedback, how you actually feel about online dating. So leave comments, like, share, subscribe, all the stuff you're supposed to do on social media. And until we meet again, y'all hang tight.